Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all fans of all ages, I am Beast Mike, your fellow passenger on the To-A train, and there are so many questions I'm going to have to ask in these next few minutes. First one, Anthony Weaver. Why? What happened here? Why is this defense so bad? Why is this defense so incapable of getting a third down and long stop? 3rd and 8 or further. Whether it's by penalty, whether it's by the Patriots getting the yards in question, why are they so incapable of getting stops when you have the most advantageous situation? Awful stuff. That screen on that on 3rd and long, inexcusable. Cannot allow that. Yes, Jalen Phillips has to get home, but come on now, you cannot allow such a thing to go down. The 3rd and 20, the penalty with the holding, and it's not just third downs, but like the 2nd and 20s and things like that nature, can't allow these first downs. On the defensive penalty, that was awful. And there's been several others in these last couple of weeks that's just like, are you kidding me? You cannot allow that. Most advantageous situation, and it just falls apart. Fell apart way too many times in the first half to get any sort of defensive momentum and try to do something, anything, to stop Drake May from getting going. And then Mike McDaniel, question. Urgency. Do you know the concept of it? You went to Yale. In theory, you would know the definitions of words and vocabulary, but urgency, kind of necessary, my guy. To waste the timeout yet again, because it seems like a weekly ritual for Mike McDaniel, and to basically say, okay, we'll save the last timeout and waste 5 yards is an awful, awful display of lack of urgency. Cannot do that. Bad looks. Now, Toole was mostly very good. There's no denying, once he got going in the second quarter, he was actually really good for 3 quarters. Okay, fine. There are some problems, of course. Throws were missed. Opportunities were missed. The Inno, for example. We had a wide-open man in the flat, and I think it was Tanner Conner, but he had a wide-open man in the flat, and you opted not to look to the left, and then once you finally decided to throw it to him, it's picked off. Had you thrown it to him sooner, he's running for 15 yards, and it's an easy first down. Not great. Good Waddle, good Tyreek, good Achane, great Achane even. Cool, we saw that. Spectacular plays by Achane throughout a lot of this game. And the kick return by Malik Washington, also excellent to see that. Spectacular stuff. Great way to counter what was a spectacular punt, by the way, by New England's punter. Their field goal kicker may be terrible, but their punter isn't. Then that was a very good sign that Malik Washington was able to make that play and get to the crib. And then to give that touchdown right back. Special teams. Come on now. We thought we were past this. We thought we were past having awful special teams. Now, offensive special teams has been fine. You can't allow that punt return, especially after kick return, especially after the Washington punt return. You cannot allow that. That is just awful. Awful stuff. This was a winnable game, and now we're going to be miserable for 4 more days because that was a loss that should not be. In so many ways, for so many ways, and for so many reasons. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered in this time period. And we know Ross can pull the trigger quickly on regime changes because he's done it before. He did it with the Joe Philbin regime change when September was awful. So it's doable from Ross. Yeah, we can see things go bad if the Monday night game is a disaster. And if Miami's 0-4 for some reason. Even though the Jets looked awful. Ironically, looking awful against our next opponent, who's been basically an unstoppable machine for 2 games. Anthony Weaver, you got to figure something out ASAP, with or without Chop, and that was a dirty play what happened to Chop Robinson. You got to figure out something ASAP to stop a Bills team that's hung 70 in these 2 games. Got to figure it out quick. McDaniel, you got to figure out your situations quickly as well, because we're going into Buffalo, and we have to figure everything out to save ourselves. On to Buffalo on Thursday. All aboard. Whoop, whoop. Fins up.